let's hook straight into it. We've got a big week this week to get all this installed and wired up. Same as when we assembled the tray, all the bolts that I can't use a nylock nut, I'll be chucking some thread locker on. Got a heap of wire here ready to go. So yeah, let's hook into it. Bit of an update. I've got an absolute mess here, but got the switch panel in. These are all wired through. Lights in. That's going to be for central locking, which I haven't got yet. And then down through here, 3D printed this little 90 degrees so we can have the gland pointing out the bottom, which should work a bit better when the door closes. One core's in and wired. I've wired what I can here for now, because these all need to come in behind this panel when it goes on. And I've been working on that panel, doing what I can out here, just because it's a bit easier to work on. So I've got the neg on the inverter. That'll be the main neg to the battery, through the shunt to a terminal block. And I've also got the output off the DC to DC on as well. This is all just rough at the moment. I'll go over everything and tighten everything with a torque wrench at the end. So that's there, it's ready to go on the battery. Can't do the positive yet because that's got to go to the isolator first, which is not in there yet. I don't think I showed you guys, but I 3D printed these little mounts, you guess I call them, for the relays, just to make them look a bit neat. So I've pre-wired all the negs on the relay coils. That one there is the output for where the fridge will plug in. So got that done, and then there's the neg ready to go over to the neg terminal. So I've nearly done as much as I can here. It's near time to get this panel up in there, and then yeah, it's going to be very fiddly. I knew that because I don't have much room, but it's only going to be done once, so we'll get it done. Heat shrinking between your outer sheath to your cores is a little bit like deburring your holes. If you don't do it, you're a psychopath. Little trick, if you want to make a twisted pair out of two single cores, chuck one end in the drill and secure the other end just in the vise, or it doesn't matter really, as long as they're secured together. And then just twist them up until you're happy with them. I tend to not like go too hard on them. Something like that should be perfect. Quick update, fridge is in, drawers looking good. We've got our outlets, they're all in and wired up as well. We shoot around the other side here, got the battery. That's pretty much ready to go in now. So we'll get this big battery bolted in. This thing is heavy, but it's in now, and hopefully that's for the last time. Now that the battery's in, we can work on getting the drawer system installed. I always think it's a good idea to think about when you're doing these larger battery cables. You can feel the natural way the cable wants to lay. So I think you don't really want to fight that. So think about what orientation you want your lugs in and try and crimp them as close as you can to where they need to be. And then the other little things to think about is, if you know your lug's going to be up this way, is I like to put the heat shrink where the writing's not going to be on it, pointing up. Just makes for a neater install, I think. Update, Fridge is in. That is all working. So where are we, fridge? So you can see we've got power in here now. Only little mistake I've made on this side is I forgot the little link on the back of these switches to make your blue ring light up. So that's bugger all, can fix that quite easily. One core's in and working. Just got my little solar blanket plugged in at the moment. So chuck it in 1.7 amp. Tested all the Anderson plugs, they all work. Yeah, fridge works. Where are we here? Lights. So our lights work, but this, so I've got everything in over this side as well. I couldn't really film this, it was way too hard. I was bent up like a pretzel in here trying to wire all this behind this panel. But I'm still waiting on a switch, same as those switches on the other side, for these internal lights here. So I've just got the wires here ready to go. But I didn't test them. They do have a flashing function. And the way I read the manual was black negative, red positive, yellow if you want flashing. But obviously not, because if I touch these together, I've got a disco in here. So I'm going to have to sort that out, which shouldn't be too bad. The cables are in here, so I'm just going to have to strip them back and get to that other core. But yeah, other than that, this light works. All the circuit breakers. So I've pre-wired it for a dual cylinder ARB compressor. That's what these two 40 amp breakers are for. Haven't got one of those yet, but I just wanted to future-proof it. 50 amp breaker for our fuse box on the other side there. A DC to DC charger and inverter. Inverter also works, I've had that running. And then we've got a dual pole circuit breaker here for the solar inlet. So it breaks the positive and the negative. And another USB outlet and 12 volt outlet here. They all work. Main isolator. And the drawers. Super happy with these drawers. Bit of pinch weld along here just to finish it off. Yeah, so I just got to put some of the EVA foam on here. That's just the inspection hatch for the battery terminals. I didn't bother getting that powder coated because, yeah, not going to be in a minute. It's all going to be covered in foam anyway. So I just need to get some foam on here, fix those lights, and chuck a comment on the switches to get the lights working, little blue rings in those switches. And we just got to get the kitchen in. It's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it so far. But first, let's smash out the water system. If you followed along with the tray build, you'd know there's a 60 litre water tank underneath the tray. But we still don't have a tap or a pump. So let's build a swing out tap, install a pump, and I'm going to put a little bypass valve in around the pump so that we can use the same tap for gravity feed and pressure feed. This might make a bit more sense now, but what a contraption this is. I've obviously still got to put hose clamps in all these, but I've just got it all sitting together. I jumped on the lathe and made some adapters here because this was only 10mm barb and these ones are 13, which was a bit of a pain, but anyway, I had some nylon sitting around, so I just lathed up a couple of little adapters. So that sorted that out. So this is just a normal one-way valve from Bunnings, and they've got to have pressure to open, so they've got a little spring in them. I've taken it apart and taken the spring out, so hopefully the pressure from the tank, just gravity, will open it, and then when the pump pressurises it from this side, it'll still push that plunger back and close it, which, I don't know, I think it's going to work, but I mean, I'm going to give it a go. It's not hard to replumb this if this doesn't work, but I'm hoping it does, so I can use the same tap for pressure and gravity feed. You will get a little bit of gravity feed through these pumps when they're off, but not much. So I'm hoping with this setup, I can get just that little bit more. Yeah, so let's get this installed. Just about to bolt this bracket up in here for the final time. I thought this little trick's worth noting if you didn't already know. So I've got to get a nut up in there. Obviously I can't get my hand in there. So a little bit of plastic in your ring spanner. Then you can just push your nut in there nice and tight and it stays in there. And that way I'll be able to reach it in easily to get it started. I think this might be my new favourite part of the setup. Sits in there perfect, just above the tyre, and just clears the camera on the way out. And it's nice and solid in there. And if you just snap him out and snap him into that one, sits in pretty much the perfect spot, which is what I wanted. I didn't want it up too high or too low. And I wanted it in a spot where it's not going to get damaged off-road when you're not using it. And I think I've nailed it. And I must be getting better at CAD because that was version 1, believe it or not. And that's the first time I've designed like a snap fit. And that works perfect. So yeah, just pull him back away. It's all nice and solid too. Real solid, so couldn't be any more happy with that. All right, let's do a full walkthrough. As I said at the end of the tray build, this won't be a full in-depth overview. I'll do a separate episode now that the tray and the canopy's done, and we'll dive right into everything. But quick overview, I did just make up this dividing tray here just out of some 2.5 alley to house the induction cooker, and then yeah, just a few storage trays. 3D printed a couple of little trays here. That one will hold a gas bottle for the hot water system, some toilet rolls. The kitchen, go back and watch the full episode on the build of that if you haven't already. But the coffee machine's in now and that all works good. I have spent one night away in this setup now and used everything, and everything works perfect. So yeah, I think down the future I will get a cable chain and install underneath the kitchen and permanently hardwire the coffee machine in so I don't have to plug it in every time. But for now, that'll be fine. That's got a little magnet on the back now in here which holds the coffee machine back. And I've also got a little mount underneath here, so it's not just the strap holding it down, because I have heard of people having a lot of trouble keeping their coffee machines in place. So we'll see how that goes. It seems pretty good so far. Yeah, the table and everything worked perfect as well. Cutlery drawer, 3D printed a little organiser for the spoons and forks and whatnot. I'm going to 3D print some more organisers for this, but yeah, just haven't got around to that yet. I'm pushing for time because in 2 days' time, 2 days? Yeah, 2 days' time, I'm on the Spirit of Tasmania to head to Fink Desert Race. So I'm living out of this for 3 weeks. So I've only just got it done in time. Yeah, you can see there, fridge is running at the moment, drawing 3 amps. The energy system has been working perfect so far. Swing around this side. I've got the EVA foam on here now. That's pretty much changed the look of the inside. I think it looks heaps better now. The strobe lights have been fixed now as well. So I've got the right switch in here. And no more disco lights. So I'm not going to have an epileptic fit. This panel's in properly now. I think that looks pretty neat. Drawers have been working perfect. Probably get an idea of how big that drawer is there now. It's quite big, that one. And then this one here is a touch shorter. Tell there it's a bit shorter because that's got the battery in front of it. And if you're wondering why that little cutout's there, it's for the, you can slide that out. It's a bit hard to do with one hand, but that just pops out so you can get to the terminals on the battery. Yeah, if I ever wanted to remove the battery, I would have to pull the drawers out, but I could probably get to it by taking the fridge out. But yeah, it's actually not that hard. Probably looks like it would be a pain to pull these drawers out, but it's actually not that bad. I reckon half hour and I could have them out if I ever need to change the battery and whatnot. Yeah, all the lights work perfect. They were heaps bright enough as well, so I'm happy with them. Just still waiting on the central locking whale tails to turn up. Hopefully they turn up before my trip. But yeah, other than that, I'll do a separate episode on the tray and the canopy and the full fit out. We'll go into a bit more detail. But yeah, I've got 320 watts of solar on the tent now as well, and that's been keeping up great. That's a DIY tent as well. I built that hard shell tent a couple of years ago now. I might even put that in the review when we do the tray and the canopy. But yeah, for now, I think I'm going to call the canopy fit out done. I'm sure there'll be more to add to it in the future, but yeah. Thanks for watching, and we'll do an in-depth review in the next couple of coming weeks.